What's up, guys? Welcome, welcome. Vin, what's going on, brother, man? Eller, AI, what's going on, guys? Welcome, welcome. We're about to start right now. Hope everybody had a good Friday. Good Friday. We got the weekend ahead of us. Hopefully we got some big moves coming, right? All right, audio is good. All right, let's jump right into this, guys. Welcome, welcome. A little late today, right? A little late today. Sorry. Had immediate dinner plans around 6 o'clock. I was like, while I'm eating dinner, I'm like, man, I'm supposed to be on live right now. But no worries. You guys know we're coming regardless. So let's jump right into this. If you guys haven't already, let's just get it out of the way. Hit that like. Hit that like so we can bring more people in to the space. Obviously, we are going to be monitoring Milady, and also if you guys are interested in any other projects, let us know during the stream. Definitely check out and see what's going on. So you guys know what we normally do here. We look at Milady, and we're going to be checking out obviously Bitcoin and the rest of the market to see what's going on for today. So first things first, let's check out Milady. So today, really nothing much has been going on, right? We've been really sitting in this like channel since we've dropped down. This literally has been in the same channel, right? And we kind of can map it out here, almost like we did for these other two channels. We sat in this channel, but you guys know eventually something is going to happen, right? Hopefully we're looking for this big shoot up to the top, right? But right now, and we'll look at some of the moving averages, but nothing really as of right now is really sticking out. Nothing's really sticking out right now telling me that anything's going to happen. But you know that we're on the verge. Like, you just can feel it in the air. Something's going to happen. And I'm going to look at a couple things, a couple articles that came out today that were real fuddish, right? A little real bearish, from some analysts saying, that Bitcoin might be taking a hit here soon. I don't know. I really don't believe it. I don't believe it. But at the same time, I do think that people really are getting hyped up about this ETF. And, it would stink, right, for the market short term if something was to happen that wasn't planned, obviously, right? Like this ETF not getting approved. Every day that I come on YouTube, just like you guys, I see the YouTubers saying that ETF's approved today, question mark, and it's like, I don't know, it's just craziness, it's going to happen when it happens, right? But we've been talking about this for the last month, maybe the last 2 months, that this ETF is supposedly, the deadlines are in between the 5th today to the 10th, right? So I kind of understand why maybe today people were coming out and saying maybe that we were going to get a decision, but obviously we have not, that I've seen, we have not got any kind of decision. And you guys can see obviously the charts really are kind of reacting to that. It's been just a real choppiness, really nothing much as far as price action, volume. Everything's really been kind of just sitting. Now, I'm not saying everything. There has been a few projects out there that have been moving, right? I feel like every day you wake up and it's a new project that's up maybe 30%, right? That's having its little heyday for right now. But you can tell as the full market, looking at the whole, full spectrum, it's really just been kind of sitting in the same kind of spot, waiting to figure out what is going to happen next, right? Bitcoin, we are sitting at around 44,000, and I will tell you, if something's going to pop, like let's say this ETF for sure is going to get approved by this week coming up, if we can still sit around this 44,000 before that news breaks, things are looking good. Honestly, things are really looking good. We're above this channel that we've been sitting in. Obviously, we broke above it briefly with the anticipation that the ETF was getting approved. This was like a few days ago, right? Then you saw obviously that FUD that popped up and caused this big scare off in the in the market, and pretty much from there on, we have basically rebounded, but not all the way up to where we were at, $46,000. But if you really look back, this has been for the last month, I believe. This has been since pretty much the beginning of December. So it's been over a month. Pretty much, let's just call it 4 weeks. We have been sitting in, and what I said was pretty much looking like a descending triangle or a bear flag, but we've been sitting in this channel for Bitcoin for the last 4 weeks, and we did break out. But like I said, we had this big drop, obviously after this, all the FUD that dropped, but what I'm getting to is we are still sitting above the channel right now. So if we any day now get this news that this ETF is or the ETFs plural got approved, I'm telling you, we're going to see some big moves, particularly for Bitcoin first, right? Particularly for Bitcoin first. Milady sitting in another channel, right? Sitting in another channel. We're just kind of waiting. We're at the mercy of Bitcoin right now, unfortunately, right? But it could be fortunately, because expectations, you guys know that Bitcoin is just, it's poised to do something big this year, right? With a lot of these catalysts that we have, we're going to list them again. Obviously, we have the ETF. We have the halving that's happening that no one can take away from us in April, right? And then we also have interest rate cuts that are going to be occurring multiple times this year. Just alone with those three things, very bullish for the market usually, right? Some of it could be slightly bearish at short term. Like usually the halving, from what I've gathered, is it's usually not just the gathering or the halving happens and it's like we just shoot up to $70,000. A lot of times it's almost like we'll build up until the halving will happen. Maybe we'll have a sell-off, almost like what we were predicting for the ETF. We'll have a sell-off, almost like sell the news kind of thing. But usually a month or two after the halving is when you start seeing that really bullish moves in Bitcoin and in crypto particularly. So we have all that coming up soon. So you guys just be ready for sure. Now, just saying what's up, Joel. Ladies needs Binance listing. And you know what, Joel? I think eventually we're going to get there. What Ladies needs is it needs to just continue to build this community. It needs to build the hype, and all that stuff will follow, right? The Binance, Coinbase, all the stuff will follow, and obviously the volume will spike for this project. One thing that we always talk about with Milady is the one highlight that Milady, along with a lot of other ones, but the major thing that really attracts a lot of people into Milady is the market cap is still so relatively small, right? It's so small. I saw somebody put on one of the tweets up here that they were like, Milady's not at $100 million. This doesn't look good. And I'm thinking that person most likely hasn't been in crypto for a while, right? Just to say that, because at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, you want to see the market cap rise, right? We want to see this price increase, but we're going to get there. But right now, the fact that we're buying in on a project that is under $100 million, that's under $50 million, is usually unheard of. Usually those projects are going to be all in the DeFi, right? You guys know we check out DeFi all the time. You see those projects, and a lot of the DeFi projects right now are even over $50 million, right? So to find a solid project that's actually on a lot of big exchanges that's only at $42 million is just, to me, is crazy. It's like a no-brainer for me. Now, I'm not going to go, if I have $10,000, right, that I'm playing with, I'm not going to put all 10,000 down on Milady. I'm just not going to do that, right? I always tell you guys, diversify. You want to have a full spectrum of stuff. You want to have your really safe projects like your Bitcoin, Ethereum. Maybe you can throw in Solana, ICP, something like that in there. And then you want to have maybe your mid-cap coins, like maybe, to me, these are my opinions, like Fetch AI. I have a couple other mid-cap coins, something around maybe $100, $200, $300 million. Those are going to be your mid-cap coins. And then I will have maybe allocate like 30% towards the small caps. And you always want to get a nice little gem, a nice meme coin that you think is probably going to pop during the bull market. And that's what leads us to Milady, right? We all talk about it all the time. Just imagine if Milady can just get those few little things, those few characteristics, like this, the hype, right? The hype is what drives these meme coins. It really is what drives almost any project, right? Any project can have, the utility behind it, can have all the devs, all this good stuff, but if it doesn't have that hype behind it, it's really not going to do much, right? So a meme coin really depends on hype, right? It depends on people talking about it. It depends on all eyes on that project, right? That's what really moves a meme coin. And we've seen these meme coins, what they can do, particularly Shiba, Dogecoin, Pepe, and then some of the new ones like Bunk, Sneak, and there's probably a whole lineup of other meme coins that have been going going crazy lately, right? Maybe some of them will pop up and then they'll kind of fizz out a little bit, right? But a lot of times, some of these projects, like I said, you have your Shibas and you have your Dogecoins. Those are going to be your big projects. Let me see here. Oh, it looked like my screen was blurry. Sorry, getting sidetracked there. What's up, guys? Everybody that's in here, what is going on? Happy Friday, guys. I hope you guys had a solid week. Hope you guys, did whatever you got to do to make that money, feed your families and stuff like that. And we're just chilling, right? We're chilling, looking at our investments. If you guys have any suggestions on what to look at, let me know. Now, let's see here. Soul, what's going on, brother? Thank you so much for joining. Troy's in the house. I made it, Milady to the moon. Definitely. In due time, Troy. In due time, man. And Jason was saying, get ready for another discount. Oh, okay. You think we're going to have a nice little move to the downside? And we're going to look at a couple things that, might be pointing in that direction. Maybe not necessarily a discount coming, but there is some FUD that's been circulating out there. So we're going to go through it in a minute here. But also, let's see here. Free was saying ladies could break all-time highs this year. Could? Free. My boy, free. Let's look at some stuff real quick, because that's a good little topic we can start on right here, right? So let's bring up the chart this is the full Milady chart right here. This was an all-time high. We have it mapped up. The reason why I have it mapped, obviously, because it's a pivotal spot. But free, look what we just did 4 weeks ago. Brother. We literally were right under that all-time high. We were 15% away from the all-time high. The fact that you said that we could, oh man, come on, you got to be a believer. We're 100% breaking through that this year. We're going to break well past that. Like I keep telling you guys, I think we're going to eventually, we're going to be all the way up here, somewhere like a couple zeros down. And I'm going to have to keep scrolling down and be like, you guys remember when we were right here? Remember when Free said that we might break all-time highs, guys? I'm messing with you. But seriously, this was our all-time high right here. This blue line right here. We've already been so close to it. And that was within weeks. That was with a move that was maybe 10 days, right? 10 days. We were down here almost at the bottom. This wasn't the all-time low, but we were not far from the all-time low. And you guys can see we shot up 200, almost 300% within maybe 10 days, something like that. Now, you could look at me later and be like, well, what happened? Well, I can pull up probably 100 charts right now that all look almost similar. Maybe not as dramatic, but look almost similar, to where most of the charts, all of them all hit these all-time highs, these local highs for most of them, right? All hit these local highs around the same time about 4 weeks ago, and 99% of them are all cooling down. You have maybe the exception of maybe a few that have been doing really well. Particularly layer 1 projects have been doing really well right now, right? They've been doing really good. Even Solana. We'll bring up Solana. Solana's been doing great, but even today, it's been hugging around $99, right? It hit that the local high. Right here at 126 was around the same time that Milady was mooning, right? But since then, it really has had a cool off. Now, you look at Milady, right? You look at Milady and when it hit this local high, and you look at where we're at right now compared to a project like Solana. I'm going to tell you the reason why this isn't so dramatic is because of two things. One, the hype is behind Solana, right? We all know the hype is Solana's hyped up right now, and it should be, right? It's a good project. It's hyped up. There's a lot of people, a lot of eyes, a lot of people are watching for any kind of dips. They're eating them up fast, right? But another thing, and this is the most important thing, is Solana's market cap is very high, right? It's very high. So you're going to not see these dramatic moves like a project that only has $40 million. At the time when this was up here, Milady was up to about $120 million. So it was getting up there. It was climbing, right? But even $100 million is not much. It's a very, very small market cap, a fraction compared to something that's up. I don't even know what Solana's market cap is right now. I want to say it's somewhere around $20 billion. I'm just throwing a guess. 40 billion. I was going to say 40, but I was like, it just doesn't seem like it's that high. $40 billion, right? So you see something like a $40 billion project, it's got, the swings are going to be a lot smaller compared to something like Milady that has 1/1000th of a market cap of what Solana has, right? And the same thing goes with like Bitcoin. When we saw this dramatic move for Bitcoin the other day, right? You thought it was like, you look at some of these candles and you're like, holy crap, this was only a 6% candle, right? But a lot of projects moved at least 20% because all of them are a fraction of what the market cap is for Bitcoin, right? And then you go down the list and something like Milady is 1/1,000,000th of what Bitcoin is. So you're going to see the bigger moves for Milady is what I'm getting to. But the point of what I'm getting to out of all this crap that I'm saying, right, is I'm just pointing out that this isn't just a Milady thing as far as like we made it up 200, 300%, right? And now we're just going back down. No, we're in a cool off period. It just looks dramatic, more dramatic than a lot of other projects because of the fact that meme coins always get hit harder, right? Whenever we go into some these kind of a stagnant moves, but also you're going to see that because, or I'm saying you're going to see the dramatic move like this compared to like a project like Solana or Bitcoin or any of these big cap coins, given that they just have such massive market caps. You're not going to see those enormous swings like you're going to see on a project like Milady. But hope is not gone, right? Hope is not gone. I'm telling you guys, I've been through it. I've been through it all. And, you know, meme coins are always the first to get hit. But I'm telling you, they're the ones that people know. And in people that are in big projects, you'll have some of them that are just meme coin haters, right? But you have a lot of them that have been in the market and they respect money. And they know, okay, well, it's a meme coin, cool. But they know during the bull markets, those big 100, 200x moves, dare I say 1,000x moves, are from the meme coins usually. So take that in with some consideration. Now, let's see here. Soul was saying he believes. Nice. Free. I'm glad I changed you, brother. I'm glad I changed you, man. Sean checking in. What's going on, brother, man? What's going on? Let's see here. So Gene was asking, how many zeros do you think Milady will delete on the next bull run? You know, and I tell you, man, this is like one of the major, it's either how many zeros is Milady going to drop or what's the price actually going to be for Milady, right? It's usually it's kind of the same question, right? And I always lead to kind of the same thing. And I know anybody that's familiar with the channel, they're pretty much going to know what I'm going to say. I always go back to the market cap because, you know, when you have a project that has like Milady 7 zeros in front of it, you really don't comprehend dropping a zero, dropping 2 zeros, dropping 3 zeros, how much of a move that really is, right? You're talking like 3 zeros is like hundreds of X's, right? Thousands of percent to move like 3 zeros, right? And I don't quote me, but it's something dramatic like that. So usually what I say is I go by the market cap. It's a lot easier to kind of be able to give you a good estimate is what I feel, right? And I always give out a conservative estimate. So you see us right now, market cap is about $42 million. What I'm predicting, if everything plays right with Milady, right? In this bull run, I'm predicting that Milady could conservatively get anywhere from $2 billion to $8 billion is what my conservative prediction is for Milady. A $2 billion market cap would make us up around 60, 70x from where we're at right now. And an $8 billion market cap would move us somewhere around 160, 170x, give or take a few, right? So you can kind of do the math there. Let's say we go up to around 5 or 6 billion, and it's possibly like 100x from where you're at right now. If you had $1,000 and we moved up 100x, your $1,000 would be worth $100,000, right? If you had $100 and it went up 100x, your $100 would go up to $10,000. So that kind of gives you a little bit more of an easier way, so you can kind of see how much your portfolio is worth right now for Milady at this $42 million market cap, and you can kind of do the math yourself. If you put it in zero forms, I really don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Like if we went up to an $8 billion market cap, I would estimate that we probably would move 2 zeros. Most likely, we'd be probably high up and dropping 2 zeros, somewhere around that. But it could be, more. Don't quote me on that, right? But somewhere around there. But regardless, the potential is here for this project. We've been holding pretty strong, even at where we're at right now, right? This massive cool off that we've seen. If you just go and you map out from where we were at before we started popping off, and you look at where we're at right now, we're still up over 100% for right now. We're still up over 100% for right now. And this really, I'm mapping out, this really isn't even a low, because we were, you could see from this blue line we dropped. This was maybe 2 months prior to the move. You could even see a lot of people were buying in because they were watching the videos, and I was pointing stuff out. You can see even from this blue line that we were kind of hovering around. We're up 170% in the last few months. So everything is still on par. Everything's on track. We're good to go. You know what I'm saying? We're just it's not. We were expecting you start seeing these explosive moves, and we were just expecting to already be down 2 zeros from now, right? But it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. So if anything, you guys are getting an ample opportunity, and myself, to continue to just keep adding in. And that's exactly what I've been doing. It's just literally taking advantage of these big drops and just adding to my bag. So Jazzy J's in the house. What's going on, brother, man? Thank you so much for joining. Clayton, what's up, brother, man? And Troy was saying, I've been buying Milady longer than Elon level to the moon. Don't tell them dog Elon people, because they will come after you, Troy. They got a strong community behind them, bro. You got to watch out. And some of them are amongst us right now, probably writing down your name. They're writing down. No, Troy said that. Okay, got Troy. I'll catch Troy. I got him. All right, let's see here. Prodigy was saying, I'm hoping to get 10 billion. I'm at 2 billion now, hoping for a bigger discount before the bull run. Nice, dude. You know what? I'm glad you say that. It's always having goals, right? We all have little thresholds that we're all trying to get to. Some of us are at 20 trying to get to 30 billion. Some of us in here, I'm not going to name anybody, are already up 100 billion, and they're they're up there already, man. And we had a couple people while we were moving up. We had a couple people that were in here talking about they had up there like multi-hundred billions. One person was claiming they had 1 trillion. So, I mean, we've had a couple big players in here, definitely in the live when we were moving up and stuff like that. But there was a guy that he said he had 1 trillion, and he was telling everybody, and I wasn't disagreeing. He was like, maybe when we start moving up towards these higher levels, he's like, you guys should look into maybe just taking some profit. And I never would disagree with any of that, right? Because at the end of the day, even let's say we were moving up and you sold around here, and we continue to move another 50% up, it stinks, but at the same time, you can't be mad at taking profit, right? Can't be mad, because that's the goal of it all, is really just to come in here and make money at the end of the day, right? We always preach, don't get married to your project. One day you are going to have to do that hard decision and hit that sell button, but don't do it when you're at a loss, unless you have to do it. I don't know your financial situation, but I'm just saying, we always say, make sure you guys are investing, and not financial advice, but make sure you're investing money that you do not need, right? Money that's going to sit in your shoebox, sit in your bank account, and get your 0.001 interest, from that bank that's not going to give you nothing, right? Use that kind of money, that money that you don't need to feed your family or pay your rent, mortgage, whatever the case may be. So other than that, real quick, I'm going to get to you guys' questions real quick. We are going to get to your questions. And I see he asked about Robo and New Finance. We'll definitely check it out. Here. Couple things that we are going to look at real quick. So obviously market cap $42 million. Top exchange for today for Milady is going to be Gate.io. How surprising is that, right? You guys all surprised? Every day we come in here and it's always Gate.io, which is awesome, right? You can see the volume has moved down. The volume is down. It's down under $4 million now. We're down 3.9 million, and you can see these exchanges, the volume. I mean, under $1 million volume for most of these exchanges, right? So you can see we're in one of those modes right now. And I will go back real quick before we look at this. The volume for all of crypto is down 2% today. So, I mean, you can see it's not just one project kind of thing. It's across the board right now. And let's actually look. I keep going back and forth, back and forth. Remember, guys, yesterday, remember 4 days ago, 3 days ago, 2 days ago, a week ago, I've been mapping out, been telling you guys about the Bitcoin dominance. Remember? And I've been saying as we get closer to this this agreement that they're going to accept the ETFs for Bitcoin, I said you're going to see Bitcoin dominance rising, and it's been happening. We started off at 49.9 about maybe a week ago, and it's been just slowly every day trickling up, and it's at 51.9% today, which it's up 1% in the last week, right? You think, well, that's not crazy, but you take in consideration that the market cap for all of crypto is around $1.7 trillion. So that's a lot of money that has moved most likely from your favorite altcoins over to Bitcoin right now, with the anticipation that the ETF is going to be getting approved and that there's going to be probably a big move for Bitcoin. And I told you guys, let it happen, right? We want to see Bitcoin do good. Bitcoin does good, it will follow into the rest of the market, right? So I was predicting that when this ETF does get approved, Bitcoin will probably be, the dominance will probably be somewhere around 52 to 52.5, and I'm still sticking to it. So I'm thinking we might see probably another 0.5% of the market going into Bitcoin particularly, which is perfectly fine because all that money will come back to the altcoins. So don't worry. Now, Gate.io, real quick. Looking at the buys to sells, because Gate.io is the number one volume for right now for exchanges for Milady. And looking at the volumes right now, you can, or I'm sorry, not the volumes, but the buy to sell, right? Buy to sell, you can see the sellers are still in charge. 16% buys, sells are at around 83%. But don't let that spook you. We've been steadily moving up. When we saw that massive drop a few days ago, the buys were at 1%. And the sells were at literally 99%. So we've been slowly moving up, but it's right now with the environment that we're in, where we're in this just like stagnant mode, you're really not going to see a big surge in buys right now. You're not going to see a big surge in buys. The volume is relatively so small that even the sells, even though it says it's at 83% sells, it's really not much right now. There's not a lot of money flowing in and out of Milady. It's kind of just going stagnant, which is perfectly fine because we're just setting up for this next move. So now, Dai's in the house. What's up, brother, man? Juan was saying let's effing go. I added another 60 billion. Nice. So Juan's sitting at 150 billion. Boy, that boy's gonna have a big bag when we get into this bull market. So someone asked me opinion on chicken nuggets. I think chicken nuggets are fire, honestly, but I'm not a big chicken nugget guy. I mean, what do you guys think? Chicken nuggets or chicken tenders? What do you guys think? I don't know. It depends on how. If it's like those boneless, like the boneless wings, I know you guys. Some of you guys are gonna be like, "What the?" I do like wings, right? But I usually do. I'd rather, for the dunk purposes, I'd rather have the boneless. You know what I'm saying? So you can just grab it and dunk that bad. But I like to dip it in like sauces, like blue cheese or ranch or whatever the case may be. So I'm usually pretty big on the boneless, right? So I think I'm gonna go with you guys, and I'm gonna say nuggets too. Let me put that nuggets in the chat, and I'm gonna put a big W right there. We need to get a poll next time. Good job, Lobo. Lobo with the poll over here trying to figure out. He's probably at it. He's probably pulling up to McDonald's right now. He's like, damn it, Crip, what should I do? Nuggets or tenders? All right, so let's see here. So C was asking about Robo and New Finance. And I'm gonna go out on the limb here, and I'm gonna guess that this is probably gonna be like a DeFi project, right? So let's look up Robo and New. I think this is it right here. It's looks like it's on Ethereum. I believe this is it. Is this it? See, price is at around 10 zeros. Market cap's around 5 million. I believe this should be it. This is a Ethereum based ERC DeFi project with 10 zeros in front of it. So looking at this, relatively new project. Actually, no, I'm sorry. This came out in July. So in the DeFi land, this project's been out for a while, right? So a couple things is looking at the volume. Volume for this project for 24 hours is pretty low for an Ethereum project, right? Pretty low, only about $6,500, which isn't bad. It's not bad. You're looking right here. You can see the volume for 5 minutes, 0% volume for the last hour, 0%, right? But in the last 6 hours, it is up 2%. What I'm getting to is, right now wouldn't be a bad spot, if this is your project that you're looking at, to maybe accumulate, right? Not financial advice, but maybe accumulate, because it looks like it spiked up and it's kind of been just like slowly decreasing, right? It's kind of just going back into that, into that mode where it's just really probably going to fall into the back burner, and this thing will probably go dormant for a little while until it maybe gets a nice spike. I will tell you, looking at this, and I say this isn't bad if you maybe are interested in buying into this project. Looks like it's definitely a solid project as far as like it has credentials and stuff like that. This is what you want to look for projects as far as getting in before they actually could possibly get onto a big exchange. One thing I will say is the volume looks good. I'm sorry, not the volume, the liquidity. Liquidity, I want to check before I buy in. $300,000 liquidity, not bad. 75% of the liquidity is locked. You can see, so that's a good sign into a project, right? You can see that 75% of the liquidity is already locked up where no one can touch it. Market cap is still pretty low, so I wouldn't doubt that maybe when we get into DeFi season, this project could possibly see some big potential behind it. So definitely something to monitor. Not a bad project, little hidden gem. While we're looking at DeFi, I want to bring up Solana. Solana's DeFi has been going absolutely bonkers, right? The 24-hour volume for Solana, $8 billion. The 24-hour volume for Ethereum, 1.32 billion. Solana is literally 7 times the volume of Ethereum. That is absolutely insane. That is insane, honestly. And some of these gains on some of these projects are absolutely nuts. I mean, look at these projects. Very, very high risk. Be careful, because you can see these projects are up 26,000%, but the liquidity in the whole project's only at around 19,000. This project's up 17,000%. Liquidity is about 30,000. So they're legit projects, right? You can probably get in, make some money. But if you think you're going to come in here and drop like $1,000 and then try to pull out $1 million, you're not going to do that, because look at the liquidity. You won't be able to sell. So these projects, I will tell you, with DeFi, what's really cool about these is that you don't really need to put in much, right? You can throw in 100 here, 100 there, like almost like you're at the casino gambling, right? Put 100 here, 100 there. What I usually do is I'll come on the deck screener. So let's say I'm interested in Solana. I'll come on the deck screener, and I usually will pull up. If you hit the top right here, remember the website I'm using right now is Deck Screener, and then on the left I went into the ecosystem of Solana. So what I'll do is I'll usually click in up here. You'll see you can separate everything based off of the transactions. What has the most transactions? You click on it. You click on it again, it goes to the bottom, like what's the least transactions, right? You can go on what has the highest volume. Click on it again, what has the least volume. What I normally would do is I'll go in and look at the 5 hour, 6, and 24 hour. These are the gains or losses, right? So I'll usually look, if you're trying to get into a project that's just starting to kind of blow up, monitor that 5 minute and that 1 hour. A lot of times, if you can catch some hidden gems, you'll see that they've maybe just started pumping within that 5 minute or 1 hour, and they'll be up maybe 20, 40, 50%, right? And you can kind of look in to see. The next thing I'm going to look at is the liquidity. Like I tell you guys, be very safe, be very careful. Anybody can make a project. Anybody can make a project. And what the definition of an actual rug pull is when someone makes a project like one of these on the DeFi, right? And they literally can make a project. It takes them 20 minutes to make the project, right? Doesn't need to be certified or anything like that. Gets listed on the ecosystem. It's on the deck screener. They can make their own transactions and bring the transaction number up, and they can bring it up towards the top of the list, making 1 penny transactions, right? Just kind of messing with the numbers. Liquidity will be at like 10 grand. they'll sit there and watch, and they'll let people buy in. They'll pull all the liquidity out, right? After let's say they let it sit there for an hour, and they maybe $1,000 just come in the last hour, right? They'll literally, in 1 hour, they'll make $1,000 by pulling out all the liquidity. The price will stay the same, right? Everything will stay the same. The only thing that will change is you'll see the liquidity go from $10,000 to $0. I mean, instantaneously, right? So you have to be very, very careful. You have to be very careful in the DeFi. But like I tell you guys, throw $100 in, and man, you can really do some good things as far as with DeFi. I've done it. I've been there, and I can't wait for DeFi season to come out again. I can't wait. I really can't. It's fun. Like I said, it's like going to the casino. You know, going to the casino, you have like $500, put 100 on this, put 100 on that, you know, but then you're glued to the damn charts because it's like, it's almost like leverage trading and stuff. You're just watching it like, you know, like, but I've been there and done it, and I put like $100 in. I'm not lying to you. Literally, before I would put like $100 in, and I've seen it jump up like $2,000 within like 30 minutes. I'm like, holy crap, you know, and I'm like, can't even hit the sell fast enough, you know, and then I'll move it over to something else. You know, it's nuts, but it's fun. But I've also been burnt plenty of times too. I'm telling you guys this from experience. I really do. I tell you this from my own experience. Now, it's a couple things let's look at real quick. Dai was saying, free meme have a spot on the crypto market, and our market is still low as a whole. Well, hold on. So many people I know doubt the meme coins, or meme coins as well as crypto itself, and I don't get it. History tends to repeat itself. Free, bro. I was telling this. I go on a rant all the time, and I always tell people I'm done with trying to explain crypto or to people that are like physically around me, right? You know, if maybe they come up to me and they solely want to know about crypto, that's perfectly fine. But I'm done trying to sit there and preach crypto to people. You know what I'm saying? It's like either you get it or you don't, right? You know, and it's their loss. It's their loss. And they usually, people only bring up crypto around you when crypto's not doing good, right? But when crypto starts freaking flying and you're in a bull market, there are usually people coming up and asking you how to get in now after Bitcoin's already up $60,000, or they're quiet. They don't even want to talk about it, you know, and that's perfectly fine because I'm sitting there with a big smile on my face. Sitting there with a big smile on my face. Not like a ha-ha smile. Just like I made 10 grand today smile. You know, like something like that. And I'm just like, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. And we're all going to be there, right? We're all going to be there. So real quick, make sure you guys hit that like. We got 25, 26 people in here and 19 likes. Make sure you guys hit that like. So just going through a couple of the articles, right? Let's look at a couple articles. First things first, I haven't even seen any of these articles. I've seen a couple of them. One of them I want to show out, but let's see here. So final Bitcoin ETF application filings get posted by major UX exchanges. Nice. Getting close, guys. We are getting close. Like I said, guys, I wouldn't be surprised while we're talking about the ETF. Still in play. Don't judge me on my drawing, but still in play. I think that we might end up surging when this ETF does get approved. One of the scenarios I have is us surging up, breaking these little local highs that we have, getting somewhere around the $47,000, $48,000, and maybe seeing us sell the news event after maybe like the next day or whatever the time frame may be, but some kind of a sell the news event after we do break up towards that 48,000. And what the next move is what's going to be the most important part, and it's really finding out where we find that support on Bitcoin, right, after the sell the news. And if we can bounce and find some support above where we've been pretty much hitting our head on, around that 46,000 mark, and if we find support around that area or above it, that's going to be a very, very bullish and major move right there, right? Because us getting back up to 48,000, we'll be right back pretty much, right? Remember, guys, when we get past this ETF, we have the halvening coming in 3 months from now, and every day keeps getting closer and closer to the halvening. Telling you guys, we have big things coming on to this year 2024, and you guys should be very ecstatic that you guys are in crypto during 2024, because if history even looks similar, we have some big things happening this year, right? And then you throw on a couple other catalysts that we haven't seen in a while that Bitcoin hasn't been through, like these interest rate cuts. Bitcoin's really never been through moves like this. I'm sure maybe during the 15 years, and Bitcoin just turned 15 years old, right? But during its 15-year reign, I'm sure there has been somewhat of interest rate cuts and maybe small interest rate hikes, but not like what we've seen in the last 2 years, right? Bitcoin's never really gone through any of that stuff. Never really gone through a recession. It came out of a recession 2008. That's why Bitcoin was pretty much created, was because of all that, because of the hardship that the financial system and people in finance saw in 2008. From what I've heard, as far as the creator of Bitcoin or creators, was pretty much it was an idea that sparked after 2008, because of the financial system and stuff like that. Hold on, I think my dog's at my door and she's whining like, "Dad, let me in." False alarm. She is not there. She can care less. Oh, yeah. Sean said, look out. Bitcoin's got his permit, right? It's going to start driving now. But yeah, so that's pretty much what I'm predicting as far as the ETF. Well, obviously, we'll have to see how it plays out. Any man's guess could play out, so who knows? And that leads me to my next thing for articles is this guy, Arthur Hayes. I don't know who he is, right? But he's obviously all over CoinDesk, and he is putting out FUD saying that he foresees a 30% Bitcoin crash, saying there's going to be a vicious washout. Now, I didn't click and read this article, so I am reading it with you guys, and we can kind of figure out exactly what his theory is behind it. But let's see here. Let me read so we don't have to read nothing dumb here. It says something: Fed's reverse repo program and expiry of the crucial funding facility for troubled banks may trigger a market crash in March and force the Feds to cut interest rates. So he's saying that maybe interest rates might cause some kind of a Bitcoin crash. And let's see here, Bitcoin could plunge 20 to 30% in their route, but would quickly rebound. Oh, okay. So maybe I think what he's doing is he's just giving out, because believe it or not, I did see an article about interest rates and the actual stock market. Whenever there's usually interest rate cuts, the stock market actually does see a sell-off. It's very brief, but it usually will see some kind of a sell-off. So maybe that's something he's anticipating, because Bitcoin really hasn't been through something like this, right? So maybe he's anticipating that Bitcoin might do something like the traditional markets may do, or they've done previously, during times like this. We'll have to see. Like I said, Bitcoin, this is all new to Bitcoin. But one thing I do want to point out in regards to Bitcoin is, if you notice, Bitcoin's been the markets have been doing great, right? But Bitcoin really was doing better than the markets and a lot faster, right? So in the last year, maybe the last 4 months, Bitcoin's really been moving, right? And it kind of decoupled away from the stock market. When the stock market was having bad days, it really wasn't messing with Bitcoin. You go back a year and a half, 2 years ago, the stock markets would have a bad day and Bitcoin would have a bad day. They would go hand in hand. But now they're not really kind of intertwined with each other as much. Now, when something big happens to the economy, I'm sure it's going to be a across the board kind of thing, right? I think it's going to be something across the board. You might see maybe Bitcoin in the markets kind of sink back up. But in the long term and in the normal basis, Bitcoin really has been doing its own thing, and the markets really have been doing their own thing. So again, we'll have to see how this plays out. He's saying most likely around March, but what comes right after March is Bitcoin halving. So this might actually keep us away from this scenario from happening, possibly. So we'll have to see how that goes. But for the most part, not really too worried. These are just people's opinions. You gotta take it with a grain of salt, because no one really, at the end of the day, really can predict what's gonna happen with the markets or anything like that. So we can only look at the charts and really just kind of map out what we think is happening. So now let's see here. So Alan was saying Bitcoin to all-time high, then boom. What do you mean, Alan? So you're saying that that we're gonna see an all-time high with Bitcoin and then like a big sell-off is what you're predicting? Let me know. So someone was asking about options. You know what, man? I won't even give out anything on options, man. You gotta, as far as options, I I stay away from all that stuff for right now. Now, do you mean like options, like what are good plays right now? Because I mean, there's a couple plays that we've been mapping out, but as far as like option trading, I can't give you any advice on that one, bro. So Di was saying we should break out of the downtrend on the daily for Milady. As of right now, I haven't seen anything. We'll pull up the 1-day chart right now, but we haven't really right now, as far as like the 1-day chart looking, we're still still the same, just sitting here. We are above these SMA moving averages, well, two of them, but you can see the 50 and the 20-day are still sitting above our heads, and you can see we actually, when you look at the 1-day chart, you can see we were sitting above. This is I believe the colors look so freaking the same, but I believe this is going to be your 50, this is going to be your 20-day. And we were sitting above the 50-day on the 1-day chart, right? And then obviously we saw that big sell-off. The whole market sold off. We broke that 50-day moving average, SMA moving average, and now you can see we've been kind of just hitting our head on it, right? So as we, I think, get closer towards the ETF and the markets start moving, hopefully towards the upside, we'll eventually break this 50-day SMA for the 1-day chart. And then we have right around the corner the 20-day. Remember last time we broke the 20 and the 50-day moving average, we saw big movements. Now looking at the 4-hour chart, you guys can see we are sitting below all our SMA moving averages. Usually is a bearish sign temporarily, right? You can see we basically have been sitting right. This is the 20-day moving average, this yellow line, and you can see if we do get up and test it, we don't even budge. Like, we don't even break it whatsoever. We literally were like, oh, 20-day? Yes, sir. And we go right back down, right? So in my eyes right now, this is a pivotal spot for just to continue to add to your bag, because you still have time to get these good prices in, right? Obviously, whenever we start flipping these SMA moving averages, particularly you guys remember, and we'll go back. You remember right here, we flipped this 20-day moving average, and look what happened. Right when we flipped the 20-day moving average, we saw a 40% increase within hours, right? So, I mean, all that will come again, but for right now, the way things are looking is we are temporarily bearish for Milady's charts. And I'm sure if we look at most of the charts right now, they all really look like this in the 4-hour. Like I was saying at the beginning of the stream, there are your select few that are doing pretty good. Mostly the layer 1 projects are going to be your ones that are doing particularly good for today. But mostly all the other projects are kind of just stagnant, or they're really not doing much right now. And you can see right when I pull up, all the projects, you can see just red across the board. I mean, look at this. Especially maybe the 7-day, Bitcoin's up 5%, but you can see the rest of everything is just red across the board. Internet computer is, like I said, you have a couple of these one-off projects. Internet computer still holding at around $13 because Internet computer has a lot of hype behind it. It's been doing relatively well. But man, looking across this board, it's just red central. You have red central. I mean, you have Lido right here up 22% for the week. Sheesh. Celsius been doing great. I don't say it properly, but this project right here has been doing awesome. A lot of people have been talking about this project. This project's like one of the only projects you can see. It's still up on the 1 hour, 24-hour, and the 7-day. It's up 27%. This project has been doing great, and I would imagine it's probably going to be doing some big things during the bull market. Stacks is up. Stacks is a BRC token, runs off the Bitcoin ecosystem. So Bitcoin's not doing bad. Stacks is going to do good too, right? Let's see here. You have is this? I always forget. Is it Sue or C? Sue? I think it is. So this is a layer 1 project that's relatively new. Up 24%. Not bad. Not bad. But my God, just look at all these projects. Look at them all. That's what I'm saying, guys. Don't think that this is just a Milady thing, that like everything's pumping and Milady's not doing good. No, the whole market, 90% of probably cryptos right now are down from a week ago. Down from like a month ago for sure. Right? Osmosis, another layer 1, up. BitGet token, I would imagine that's a layer 1, right? Because BitGet's an exchange. Yeah, and you can just see as we move down, I mean, everything is just, it's not brutal bad, right? You're not seeing these 70% drops, but you're just seeing everything's in the red. Fetch AI, big project that I definitely believe in for sure. AI, autonomous bots, down, for the week. And this thing has been holding so strong. So you guys can see right there, the whole market, really, majority of the market is not doing great. Not doing great at all. But who cares? You guys are getting opportunities not just for Milady, but for any of your favorite projects right now. They should be down 10%. So, I mean, you're getting a good spot. $2 cost average. And, the boat hasn't left particularly. So, let's see here. So, Dai said, we are so undervalued right now. 100%. What's a healthy bag? Oh, so Jason was asking what's a healthy bag? Like, you mean for Milady, what's a healthy bag? Like, what's a big bag for Milady? I mean, if that's what you're asking, your guess is as good as mine, because everybody has different financial situations, right? So I don't know, what your financial situation is particularly, but I will say anything as far as having Milady is a solid bag, right? And I think if you, let's say you have like, $500 to work with, maybe throw $100 in, not financial advice, but maybe throw $100 in and dollar cost average in, right? So just in case if there is more pain in the market, you can capitalize on it, and you can, throw another $50 or $100 in and get something and keep bringing your average down, right? That's what a lot of us have been doing. We've been just slowly, as we've been mapping, these channels, we keep, just taking advantage of, usually what I've been saying is so like this channel that we're in right now, top of the channel is going to be the 60, bottom of the channel is going to be the 55. So for me personally, what I'm doing right here for this channel is when we get closer towards the bottom of this channel, it's usually a buy situation for me. So you see right here we touched, right here we touched, right here we touched. Those are going to be spots that I'm looking for to add to my bag. Not at the top of the channel. I'm looking towards the bottom of the channel. But even if you were to catch the top of this channel, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, the one thing that we have going for us, folks, is we're at a market cap of $42 million. We're so small, right? So if you buy in at $42 million or if you buy in at $44 million, it's not going to be a big deal when we're down the road and Milady's at, a $10 billion market cap. It's not going to matter. You're talking about pennies, compared to, anything. Like, it's not going to be much that you're going to be missing out on. So let's see here. So C was saying Tectonic will do good as well. It's not even listed in any big exchanges. Yeah, so see, you know what? One thing about Tectonic, I'm real big on Chronos, right? And I was around when I actually was a first investor for Tectonic. I made some money, right? But I had to hold on because you guys, if you remember when Tectonic first came out, it started up and then it kind of just went down for like 6 months. And I kept just dollar cost averaging. I swear I was the first person with a billion Tectonics, right? And when that thing shot up, it was like 1 week, it was up like hundreds of percent. I was like, hell yeah, I was finally in the green, and I like 3x my stuff, because by the time we had moved down to the bottom, I was buying in and bringing my average down like crazy. So one thing about Tectonic is that you're right, it's not listed on any major exchanges. It's pretty much a Chronos based token. So down the road, you maybe could see something like that get listed on Coinbase, but I would say it's very rare. And that's what holds Tectonic back, is what I think. Now, in this next bull run, whenever we get into DeFi season, I think that Tectonic's going to for sure move. You're probably looking at, like, from where it's at right now, an easy 2 or 3x. But it to me it's held back because you can only really buy it on crypto.com or on the crypto.com DeFi space. So it's very limited on exposure and very limited on what people can buy, or where they can buy it from. So that's usually just been like kind of a, like I was like, I made money off of it and stuff like that, but I kind of kept it moving just because, you want to, like I always say, you guys, the number one biggest mover for a project, take out the fundamentals, the utility, the devs, everything that's behind these projects. The number one thing that really moves a project is hype, it being, in the limelight. That's what really moves projects. When everybody's talking about a project, that's when that thing is moving, right? And so, I mean, that's pretty much my opinion, but I don't think Tectonic is a bad project whatsoever, for sure. So Dai was saying ICP and Milady, definitely, those are two solid projects right there. Obviously, Milady being a very small market cap, your meme coin, ICP being a solid project with so much behind it, so much technology. The most decentralized project, I would say. This thing is, I mean, they cover all the checks as far as being like in gaming, NFT, AI. I mean, the list could go on. They're a solid project for sure. Real quick, if you guys haven't already, it looks like everybody pretty much has, but we've had, we were up to like 40 people in here. Make sure you guys hit the like for the channel. Now, just a couple quick things that we'll look at. So obviously, you guys know my opinion on Bitcoin. We'll see how that plays out. Let's check out ICP. I think we already saw from CoinMarketCap it was at around $13. It's down to about $12.97. So you can see everything is kind of having a cool off period. I wouldn't doubt that maybe this weekend there might be a nice spike just because of the anticipation of we're getting to the deadlines for this week coming up for the ETFs. So I wouldn't doubt that there'd be some kind of a nice pump possibly tomorrow or Sunday. Let's see here. Solana we already looked at. Any other projects that you guys want to check out? Oh, and he said Tectonic is on Uphold. Oh, nice. But you want to see Tonic get on like Coinbase, right? You want to see it get on Binance. And that's what we've been kind of waiting for Milady. There's been a lot of chatter about Milady going in or getting listed onto Binance. And that would be a very, very big move. Big move. So reading some of the tweets, you could see ladies bullish. Ladies, Lamborghini Aventador. Nice. Goals right there. How many billions do one needs to be a millionaire in the next bull run? I told you guys. Everybody, that's like the number one question right there, right? Let's see here. I bought 8 billion ladies just because the circulating supply is low. We are... what says we something for all coin season. Nice. And it's saying patience, guys. Let's see here. I'm bullish on ladies. This was posted today by the dev team. I truly believe the black stripe means BlackRock's ETF is coming today. Well, that honestly did not happen. But that leads me to, let's see what Milady's Twitter is up to nowadays. Anybody follow Milady's on Twitter? I always go into the wrong Twitter. 300 plus followers, 30,000 followers. Is it Milady Makers? Is this it right here? I always click into the wrong freaking Milady's. I need to like follow them. Just reading some stuff, guys. I don't know. Is Milady's Makers the official Milady's Twitter? or X, whatever you want to call it. Looking for that post that guy's put. Oh, look at this. So Milady's floor price right now for Milady's NFTs, nice. It's starting to build up, guys. Remember, I was telling you guys too. We'll start seeing volume, and you'll start seeing the volume and the floor prices move up for Milady's NFTs, and you'll usually see the price build up as well, usually going together. And you can see, I don't know how. Oh, this was an old post. I didn't realize we scrolled all the way back to August, but you can see back in August, Milady's floor price was 4.5 Ethereum. I'm sure it's most likely gone down just because Ethereum's doubled in price since then. So I'm sure it's probably the floor price has gone down as far as Ethereum, how many Ethereums it is to buy. But I'm sure it's probably around the same amount of money to acquire a Milady's NFT. I that's one of my next goals too. Is I want to get a lady's NFT. That would be awesome, right? You guys, any of you guys have NFTs? I have a couple NFTs on like the Chronos network. A couple cool things. They had Bored Apes for Chronos, and I picked up some. I don't know if you guys know about Crow King on Chronos. They had some pretty cool NFTs that I was picking up for like really cheap and stuff like that. And there was a couple other ones that I do have. So someone said Milady is a purple with yellow spots. Troy was saying that. I don't know, but maybe it's this one right here. Yeah, this is it right here. Is this it? Oh, yeah, this is it right here. Told you guys, I always click into the wrong Miladies. Always click into it. This is why I don't really follow them much on Twitter, because it's usually just a bunch of tweets of their NFTs, right? Which I think is cool, but I want to see like them post and be like, "We're about to be listed on Binance." I will tell you, we have on their Twitter 60,000 people. Last time I was on here it was like 40 or 50, so they're definitely building up slowly but surely, right guys? Slowly but surely we are building up, and that's the same thing with our price. We are going to slowly but surely build up. So just to recap, if you guys are wondering as far as when are some pivotal spots to maybe add to your bag, yeah, look, I'm looking at the 4-hour chart, and it does look at the 4-hour chart. It does look like a middle finger almost. She's saying, F all them haters. F you bears is what she's saying. Screw all you guys. All these loyal people up, I'm going to watch. They're going to be rich, bitch. So real quick, as far as this channel, remember guys, so the top of the channel that we've been sitting in, we're going to break out. You can see, if you look at some of the other channels we were in not too long in this channel was a little bit more drag out. You can see we haven't been in this channel for too long, right? It's only been a few days. I'm anticipating hopefully by this weekend, beginning of this week coming out, we will see some kind of a breakout, hopefully towards the upside for Milady, right? Obviously, we will be here every day mapping out. If I see anything with the charts, anything as far as us breaking some of these SMA moving averages, that's going to be our first indicators. A couple, you guys know, if you're new, if you're not new to the channel, you guys know when we see these confirmations of a couple candles breaking above these like 20, 50-day moving averages, a lot of times it's an early indicator that we're going to see some kind of a upward swing, right? So with that being said, for myself, I am looking to add to my bag. I am going to be monitoring this. I really am. I'm looking to see as we can get anywhere closer towards the bottom of this channel, right? And I'll continue to dollar cost averaging, particularly for today or tonight. So that would be anywhere probably under the 57. So anything under the 57 mark towards this lower half, particularly going towards the bottom of the channel where we've been continuing to have support. Somewhere around this 55 is going to be pivotal spots that I'm going to continue to dollar cost average in. And obviously, as we get, like right now, we're in the middle, so I'm kind of waiting to see what we're going to do. But if we keep chopping maybe towards the higher side of the channel, I'm just going to continue to wait because I do have a solid bag. So at the end of the day, if we just started shooting up like crazy, I wouldn't be upset whatsoever, right? Always looking back and like I should have bought more, but at the end of the day, I am comfortable with what I have, but I always will grab more if the price is right. Right, guys? So that's what I'm looking for as far as price action. As far as the markets, Bitcoin, you guys know what the prediction is. We're going to continue to watch this. Right now, Bitcoin's around 44,000. Hopefully this ETF and everything's going to be getting behind us soon. We'll see some kind of a big move with the acceptance of the Bitcoin ETFs being approved. I'm expecting us possibly to make a move somewhere towards this direction, hopefully towards the 48,000 mark, and then maybe see us sell the news kind of a thing. And like I said, really the move up is not going to be the big thing for me. It's going to be where do we find support, and hopefully we find support above or around where we've made this local high around this 46,000 mark. That would be a pivotal spot for us, right? So we'll have to keep continuing to watch this. But remember, Milady, $42 million market cap. Everything is still looking great. We are such a small market cap, and we just keep loading up our bags, right? Because we know in the long run, Milady is going to do something big in this bull run. It's going to do something big for this bull run. Imagine Binance, Coinbase, and maybe a couple of tweets from Elon again. Whew. Hype will be there. Volume will be going crazy. Bags will be filled. So we'll have to continue to watch that. But other than that, guys, I think I'm going to end it. I think we're going to end it for the night. It's getting towards my bedtime. Not really, but I'm going to let you guys go. It's Friday night. You guys be safe out there. Be safe. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe. Tomorrow we'll be back on. It is Saturday, so I might have a little earlier stream, maybe like around in between like 3 and 5 p.m. tomorrow. So you guys check it out, but you don't even have to worry about it because as soon as you hit that subscribe, you get the instant alerts whenever I do post a video. So you don't have to worry about anything. You guys can join if you're available or after the fact. So no worries whatsoever. Again, guys, we got big things coming. So you guys be ready. Enjoy yourselves. Be safe tonight. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll be right back, okay? Thank you guys so much. Hope you guys have a great night, okay? See ya.